Hello everyone, I'm day weather meteorologist Don Day with your Public Lands Council weekly weather update for this April 16th, 2022. It's being brought to you by Ag Risk Advisors and WSR Insurance Services Incorporated. Well, the past week has certainly been eventful for many of you, especially across the northern plains with the blizzard that hit North Dakota, parts of Montana, extreme northern South Dakota, and extreme northern Wyoming. The good news, badly needed moisture came. The bad news, it came in the form of a blizzard. And believe it or not, there's another shot of snow coming this weekend for the northern plains. Parts of North Dakota and Montana that just got all of that snow and wind. We'll see another round of snow this upcoming weekend. Now, fortunately, it's not going to come with the wind with the last storm, but there is another little shot of snow coming and more moisture for those areas. Now, next week will be warmer. This is going to be especially true for the central and southern areas of the Rockies and the central and southern plains and parts of the southwest United States. We're still going to see colder than normal temperatures for the northern plains, and that's mainly going to be due to extensive snow cover across those northern areas from the weekend storm that's coming this weekend and the storm this past week. Another possible storm system could affect the western United States by next weekend. A lot of question marks on the exact track of the storm, kind of like the same situation we were in a week ago, where we weren't exactly sure where the storm was going to go. But there's another western system that will come in, bringing rain and snow to some of you. Taking a look at the precipitation over the last 7 days, boy, you can certainly see the bullseye of the heavier moisture that focused itself into this area right here. It was a double-edged sword. The blizzard conditions in North Dakota bad, but also at the same time, we saw a boost in the snowpack in the western United States and some really good precipitation. Look at this. Into central and northern California, into Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, the Wasatch of Utah. But again, the area of dryness continues to be here, which continues to be a concern and a problem in the coming weeks. The northern areas really benefiting the most. And if we were to focus in on this graphic that the National Weather Service in Bismarck put out, you can see the red areas where in excess of 2 feet of snow fell in many areas. Some areas, look at this, over 30 inches of snow just northwest of Minot. And you can see where the impacts were the highest with the snowstorm and the blizzard situation in this arch here across North Dakota, parts of southern and southwest areas of Montana, southeast Montana, northwestern areas of South Dakota. Going forward, the anomaly with precipitation, as you'd expect it there, but also there in the Pacific Northwest, and this continued concern for dryness right here is going to be a headache unless we can get a storm that tracks further south. The drought monitor does not reflect, unfortunately, the changes in the water situation with this last series of storms. It was a system that came early in the week, but this drought monitor, even though it's released on Thursdays of the week, is only good for moisture up through the early parts of Tuesday. So our next drought monitor map should show some improvements here, should show improvements in here as well, as it's not all bad news, except for the southern plains here and in this area right here that continues to miss out on these storms. Now, as we look ahead, this is where we are going to be this weekend. This weekend, we've got a trough coming in the Pacific Northwest, and we're going to see more rain and snow in the Pacific Northwest, central and northern areas of California, parts of the Great Basin, and this is the system that's going to cross the northern plains, while the southern areas here are going to remain dry and warmer. Now, by next weekend, we put a question mark here on winter storm. This is by next Saturday, the 23rd. So we could have another storm system track across the Rockies. This shows a southerly track, more southerly than what came up in here last weekend with the blizzard in North Dakota. This would mean rain and snow further south in areas that really need it. But we put this question mark here because this storm could do the same thing. It may track towards North Dakota again or take a more southerly route. So what you want to do, stock growers, is you want to pay close attention to the weather forecast over the next week to see where next weekend's storm ends up. The precipitation forecast over the next week with that storm does show the potential for some areas of Wyoming, Nebraska, South Dakota, and look at this, North Dakota again, to see more precipitation and more precipitation in the Rockies. And look at California. Look at Washington and Oregon, even east of the Cascades, getting some badly needed moisture to come in. So the prospects for more needed precipitation over the next 7 to 10 days looks good. This area, though, continues to be dry. We're hoping that some of this precipitation ends up developing next weekend, but we got to put a question mark on it. Snowfall, this is what the snowfall forecast looks like, so there could be some late April snows in other parts of the West. So stock growers, you need to stay on your toes. We're not done with winter storms yet. Over the next 7 days, you can see a warm-up commencing in the central and southern Rockies. A lot of these warmer temperatures will be coming during the work week. Notice, though, in the northern areas here, how cold it is relative to averages, this arch here of cold across the northern plains into the Pacific Northwest and even into California. A lot of this green right here due to extensive snow cover, which will keep our temperatures down, but a lot of you will see some relief from the cold next week. It's those northern and far western areas that are going to be the coldest. Our next update will be next Saturday, the 23rd. Have yourself a good weekend.